How's it going, everyone? I've been pretty high on 2024 so far as game releases go. I think this has just been an excellent year so far. I know some people disagree. I saw some people, because I've been making this point quite a bit in my videos, some people are like, what are you talking about? This guy's crazy. Guys, look at the year that we've had so far 2 months in. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which I thought was really good. Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. Pal World. Persona 3 Reload. Final Fantasy VII Remake is about to come out, and that has a 93 on Metacritic. Helldivers 2 has taken the world by storm. You've got other titles like Enshrouded doing really well on PC. So on and so forth. There's been a lot of high-quality games this year, and I think it's just been an excellent kickoff to 2024, and there's a lot of great titles to come. However, heading into this year, I was incredibly skeptical about one Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. You guys know I love Rocksteady as a studio. You guys know that Batman Arkham is one of the greatest set of superhero games, and honestly one of the greatest video game trilogies of all time, because promoting it as the best video game superhero trilogy of all time, what does that really say? What other high quality superhero video game trilogies have there been? Not a lot, but Batman Arkham is legit one of the best trilogies that have ever come out in gaming. I know there's Arkham Origins, but as far as the Rocksteady titles go, Arkham is Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. 3 tremendous games, and 9 years, a 9-year layoff from the release of Arkham Knight. Rocksteady is finally bringing out their latest title in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. We all knew that the skepticism was there heading into the release of this game. Oh, the live service element, oh, a focus on multiplayer co-op, Suicide Squad. I don't love the Suicide Squad, but I'm not a big DC guy in general, a big superhero guy in general. It's just not a group of heroes I ever really resonated with, but it's still Rocksteady. Maybe it's gonna turn out well, and you can make the argument. You can say, hey, it's a different Rocksteady. You can't look at this game as a typical Rocksteady game. Rocksteady has shifted so much. That's fair enough for the people that are in the know, but guess what? When Warner Brothers is promoting this game as coming from the creators of Batman Arkham, I'm not making that up. Look up Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and then look at how Warner Brothers promotes this game from the creators of Batman Arkham. When they say that over and over again, you are setting a standard, you are setting an expectation level of how good this game can be, and ultimately, what did we get with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League? A lot of us saw it coming 8 miles away, 10 miles away. Last year, when the game got the lengthy delay, we all saw this coming. Most of us, at least, that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is ultimately not the game that people wanted out of Rocksteady, and for a variety of reasons. But now, as the dust has settled, as the game is officially released, would you look at that? Warner Brothers Discovery officially says that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has fallen short of our expectations. This year's Suicide Squad, one of our key video games released in 2024, has fallen short of our expectations since its release earlier in the quarter, setting our games business up for a tough year-over-year comparison in Q1. So we are all not surprised, are we here? And what is more depressing than anything, and we'll talk about Warner Brothers and their vision for gaming going forward, and I really hope they course correct after this, but who knows? But we all knew going into the release of Suicide Squad that there was going to be a lot of trouble with this game. A $70 price tag is what it is. A lot of games are going to that $70 price tag, but do I need to go over the trifecta of greed with you guys again? Not only did it have the $70 price tag, not only did they run the gimmick of, oh, you buy the deluxe edition, you get to play the game 3 days early, ha ha ha! No, you don't get anything early. The game is done and ready to go. You're locking the game away for people that dare to pay only $70, and on top of that, with all that being said, you're adding microtransactions on top of that as well. That is the trifecta of, you know, that this company, and obviously they're a company, they're a business, they're trying to generate as much revenue as humanly possible. However, and obviously this wouldn't have solved everything, but I think if we have a little bit of managed greed, if we manage your greed a little bit and we scale it back, maybe instead of doing the early access gimmick, it's just $70 day one release and you eliminate the microtransactions and it's just $70. I get it, the microtransactions are only cosmetics, but cosmetics for a long time were just built into the game. You doing MTXs with a $70 title with the early access gimmick, we got a problem. At least I'm gonna have a problem, and I don't think people are gonna love that element of it. Not only that, we know that this was something that was enforced by the higher-ups of Warner Brothers, and unless Warner Brothers course corrects in terms of their expectation level of video games and what they want out of their gaming sector, expect this to become a reality, guys. Do not expect Warner Brothers If you think that Warner Brothers looked at the sales numbers for a Hogwarts Legacy last year, a $70 release that did have the early access gimmick baked into it, but a game that did not have microtransactions, that game selling 22 million copies, if you don't think for a second that Warner Brothers is sitting back thinking, oh my goodness, we have 22 million people playing Hogwarts Legacy, how can we monetize the sequel even further beyond that? Because it was, from a financial standpoint, incredibly smart to add the early access gimmick baked into a totally single-player game that was ready to go come the initial launch date. They charged an additional $10 if you wanted to play it early, quote-unquote early, and I'm sure they made a killing off that. Expect that to be in Hogwarts Legacy 2, but I fully expect Hogwarts Legacy 2 to be baked in with a lot of microtransactions and elements like that, because you know the higher-ups at Warner Bros. That they do not care about video games, and I get it, they're just businessmen and they're trying to make the most amount of money possible, but they're looking at it from the standpoint of 22 million people bought Hogwarts Legacy. How do we monetize them beyond the release of the game? And we saw the statements made by David Zaslav, head of Warner Brothers Discovery, that is their MO with video games going forward. Their gaming division, they want to monetize these games long beyond what formerly was expected of totally single-player games or single-player rated games. Why do you think Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is the way that it was? You think Rocksteady just sat back and this was exactly the kind of game that they wanted to do? Warner Brothers set out a game plan for them. They wanted X from a video game. They wanted to monetize it long-term, and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is what they came up with, and it turned out to be an incredible disappointment. And the worst part about this is I know it's gonna be a little bit harsh, but now we can throw in Rocksteady with the BioWares of the world and all of these developers that in recent years, let's be honest, have been completely washed, a washed version of their former selves. And I can't pinpoint why exactly certain developers become absolutely washed, but Rocksteady is there. Not only is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League a flop, and by the way, I'm playing this game right now, and I think it's a fine, serviceable action game. It's totally, like, mediocre. Like, mediocrity is at the heart of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. That's just not gonna fly with a $70 game that's being monetized beyond its initial launch, and you had the early access nonsense to it. If you're doing all that, you gotta deliver quality, especially if you're promoting the game as coming from the creators of Batman Arkham, where they deliver quality game after quality game with that trilogy. But you look at what Rocksteady delivered in the late 2000s into 2015, 2009 to 2015, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight. After the release of Arkham Knight, 9 years, 50% longer than the time it took to put out the entire Arkham trilogy. 9 years. In 6 years, they put out the entire Arkham trilogy. 9 years to get Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League out, and this is what they come up with. A flop, and it just goes to show that Rocksteady isn't the studio anymore that we're gonna look at and be excited for their games. And I get it, there was a gigantic shift in Rocksteady. Most of us already knew that, but the game was being promoted to more casual consumers as this is coming from the creators of Batman Arkham. So that was the quality level and the expectation level they had set in. And again, I think Suicide Squad is a serviceable game, much like Gotham Knights, a serviceable game that you should buy for $15 at most. $15 to $20 at most for Suicide Squad. The $70, oh my goodness, absolutely not. And this is an obvious case. Like, everybody saw this coming. And I was doing videos talking about how I thought Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was gonna flop, and there was maybe the crazy DC fans, some of them were like, oh no, dude, you're just being a hater. Bro, like, we all saw this coming. Everybody in the know saw this coming a mile away with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And I've been wrong several times before when it comes to gaming, and don't get it twisted. I'm not 100% right about all my takes and everything like that, but given that $70 game, early access gimmick, monetized beyond the initial purchase, and 9-year layoff, and it's not what people want out of Rocksteady. It's just not. People want a big budget single player experience, and I get it. Warner Brothers is of the mindset, hey, all we could do with that style of experience is sell it for 60, 70 bucks, maybe do a couple of DLC content. We can't monetize that for years and years, and they're just gonna throw stuff at the wall to figure out what can we monetize for years and years, and they're trying to get the people that are gonna drop $1,000 on a game over the course of the game's lifetime. They don't want just 60, 70 bucks. They're looking further beyond that, and it's so unfortunate that you can throw Rocksteady into the group of all of these developers, and thankfully you have so many other developers that have done such great work over the last few years, but like some of the developers that I grew up with, a BioWare, a Rocksteady. I don't want to throw Naughty Dog into that category, but I just look at what Naughty Dog did in the late 2000s into the early 2010s, mid 2010s, and I just much prefer that era of Naughty Dog versus what we're getting now. Last of Us Part 2 and a canceled game, and I know Last of Us Part 2 is a game that a lot of people loved. I personally didn't, but the no return mode is great. But you guys get the idea. It's just a shame to see Rocksteady be another one of those studios. You could throw Bethesda in there as well. Look at Bethesda, late 2000s into the early 2010s. Fallout 3, Skyrim, and now what do we have? Starfield in the last 8 years or whatever. It's just, and Fallout 76, it's just a shame. But that'll do it for me. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is a okay game. Obviously, with the expectation of this game coming from the creators of Rocksteady after a 9-year layoff, the expectations were much bigger than just an okay game. It's a $70 title that's monetized, and you need a lot better than okay to get away with a $70 game. Throw this into the category of the Immortals of Aveums, the Forspokens, the Gotham Knights, that $70 price tag just becomes all that more egregious. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you did play Suicide Squad, let me know your thoughts on it. Again, I don't think it's this god-awful game or anything like that. It's just, this is one of those games that really symbolizes the direction a lot of publishers want to take gaming, and it's not great. The live service model can absolutely work. We're seeing that with Helldivers 2 right now, but what was Helldivers 2? A $40 game that didn't have the expectation level coming from a studio that primarily did high-quality, big-budget single-player games. Helldivers 2 works for the audience it's targeting. With Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, it did not work. But that'll do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.